How can I lose if I'm already chose? Like, how can I lose if I'm already chose? Like, okay. Now, it's time to get to business. Today, I'm here to speak on black people. I'm here to speak about black people upholding white supremacy. It's honestly kind of scary how good we are at doing white supremacy as black people. But anyway, I was thinking about this because I was like, how should I make a video? Like, how should I talk about Kanye West? Come on here and be like, oh, Kanye West is crazy. Like, I would obviously come on here and say Kanye West is crazy, but I just got popcorn. What I was saying was, I would come in here and call Kanye West crazy. Crazy. You know why? Because I'm also crazy. But I feel like that's not productive because everybody already knows that Kanye West has his stuff going on. But I was like, let me talk about what Kanye West is doing. What he's doing is not new. It's not different. It's something a lot of black people do. A lot of black people uphold white supremacy every single day. And I want to say there's more than two ways to do it, but I'm going to talk about the two ways that black people uphold white supremacy. And one is less detrimental than the other because one is just harmful within our community, and then the other one is harmful on a broad scale. Like, it's like a much bigger scale than just the black community, and that's what Kanye West is doing. So there's only two things black people need to do in this world, honestly, right? And that's stay black and die. That's it, right? Black people need to stay black and die. That's really what we need to do. But there's a secret third thing. As I've already said, that secret third thing is white supremacy. Upholding white supremacy. That's the three things that black people do. You stay black, die, uphold white supremacy. But not everybody is tasked with upholding white supremacy the same way. You know? Like, some of us, we're just doing the two, stay black and die. Other people are doing stay black, die, white supremacy. And there's big examples, and we're gonna go through what it is because we need to speak on these double agents. These double agents in the black community that are upholding white supremacy. Honestly, the first like reason people, like black people, uphold white supremacy is not really, I can't say it's double agent actions. The other reason is double agent actions. But the first reason is just, it's plain and simple. Often misdirected anger, like, to the black community. Like, that's like when black people are like, oh, we talking about Black Lives Matter and all that, but what about black people killing black people? White people kill white people. Everybody kills everybody. That is like something, like, that's upholding white supremacy when it really, like, you're having a lapse in judgment. You think we can get rid of all murderers? That's impossible. Like, some people are gonna do a murder, and we just have to live with that. Well, we will come up with different, we will have different reasons, like different things to handle that. But black people killing black people is the same as white people killing white people, right? That belief is upholding white supremacy in the community, you know? Like, that's like, oh, like, obviously gang violence and stuff doesn't just stem from, like, black behavior and black culture. We all know that, even if you feel like we don't. Like, A lot of people don't realize what they're doing. And that is really what this first method of upholding white supremacy is. Not knowing what you're doing. Like, you just don't know. Like, we can say it's ignorance. Like, if I want to say, that the black on black crime is more of that's more on the extreme end of things, because not just black people speak on it. But you know what just black people do speak on? Well, maybe not, other people might speak on it, but something black people speak on a lot that is mostly harmless, but it is upholding white supremacy in a certain way. And that is the different black people. You know, I'm not like other black people. I'm not like the stereotypical black person, right? So they're not, they don't, they're not in a gang. They don't listen to rap music. They're not from the city. They're from the suburbs. They're from this. They're da 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 da. All of that is upholding white supremacy. If you're a nerd and you watch anime and you listen to pop music or rock music, whatever, you're still black. You're still a black person, even if you don't fall within the stereotypes of black people that you've created for yourself. Like, even if you're not falling within those stereotypes, right? You don't stop being black. And a lot of people, that's like a way of upholding white supremacy, is like, I'm not black. Like, I'm black, but I'm not like these black people. Those black people, you know? And that is a problem. But that's a problem within the community that honestly we will be able to overcome eventually, you know? Like, it's just a matter of becoming more accepting and becoming more open, which as a community should be mostly simple to do. I don't think it'll be too hard, right? We can ignore what they're doing. Like, that is something you can ignore because it's not significant. But what we can't ignore is the second method of upholding white supremacy, which is mostly voluntary, mostly thought out, and strategic ways of upholding white supremacy. And that is working directly through the white supremacist framework. And the people that do this, Kanye West is doing this. He's working within white supremacy to push white supremacy, because it's like black faces in high places, you know? That doesn't do anything but have black people work within the system that they're in for the people in the system. Like, I'm trying to explain it. I'm going to read this thing. So, the second reason is what really matters. I already said that, right? And honestly, it starts out very simple. Black people don't want to be second-class citizens. Obviously, who wants to be a second-class citizen? Nobody. And one part of not being a second-class citizen, like being born black, you know, is like your ticket to second-class citizenship. And maybe you don't want to be white, but you can dream about wanting to be white your whole life, but you were born black, so you'll never be white, right? You can never be white. So what's the second best thing? Being in white spaces. And this is why I say Kanye West is holding this up, because he's in white spaces. He's in white spaces so much so to the point where he's making this money and he's believing that he's revolutionary and saying something that other people aren't saying, when that is just simply not the case. Black Israelites? How many black Israelites exist? So many of them. And it's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? But I think, like, the black Israelite beliefs and stuff, I feel like I know. It stems from not wanting to be black. Not wanting to be a descendant of African slaves. That's what it is. That is what the key of all of these beliefs are. Black Israelites, they're the true Jewish people, you know? And then we have, like, the real black people are Native American. Not descendants of slaves. We were already here. like we're Egyptian, we were kings, we were queens, like that whole type of stuff. That's not embracing blackness. That's not embracing our true history as Black Americans. That's rejecting it, and that is strengthening white supremacy. Because why not just exist as a Black person instead, as a descendant of a slave? You go the extra step to detach yourself from our past, from our history, from our ancestors, so that you can fit more comfortably in a white space. You can say white people are the devil all you want, but you are trying to work within the white framework of not being a second-class citizen, of not being a descendant of slaves. You want to prove that you're not what they say you are. Like, so here you are, trying to escape trauma and rewriting your history. And, like, I just, honestly, it's like the worst. I wish black people would just schizo post differently. Like, they literally, Kanye West and all his little rants about Jewish people that he's going on, basically schizo posting, take his platform away, right? But they can't do it like, it's so harmful, you know, to be like this. There's so much, and I don't really know what to say, because like wording it is so difficult, because I want to be very charitable. Wording it is difficult because I want to be charitable to my people, obviously. I don't want to be like you're dumb, you're ignorant because you're holding up white supremacy. I don't want to do that. But I get what's happening, you know? You don't want to be the Black descendant of a slave. Obviously, who wants to be a slave? Who wants to see themselves that way? Nobody wants to see themselves that way. But if we are trying to avoid and not acknowledge things, then we just continue the harmful cycle of white supremacy. Don't be like Kanye West and fight white people battles, okay? Don't fight the battles of the white people that want you to discriminate against other people that they're oppressing, because that's fighting for white supremacy. What did Jewish people do to black people? Nothing. And I know I think part of the reason is because the stereotypes that Jewish people have are something that black people desire. That happens a lot. Like the stereotypes that like Asian Americans have, not Asian Americans, but just Asian people in general, specifically like East Asians, the stereotypes that they have are something that black people desire, that they envy. And trying to step up in your little totem pole of oppression or whatever, of the white supremacy line of who's the most oppressed and everything like that, you will in the end end up fighting for white supremacy, fighting not against it, but with white supremacy, attacking people that are not the culprits. They're just, nobody has done anything wrong. Like they're not the ones upholding white supremacy, and all minorities do this. Like, the minority myth exists because minorities want to uphold white supremacy so that they can feel closer to like the desired lifestyle. They want to have money, they want to be millionaires and stuff, but also they want to be recognized, they want to be individual, because as a minority group, you're not seen as individuals the same way white people are seen as individuals, right? And that's, I get that a lot from everything that Kanye West says, is like how, like, obviously part of it is very egotistical, and another part is extremely insecure as to who he is and what he's supposed to represent. Like he's a phenomenal artist, right? But at the same time, he's fighting to be recognized for, like, he wants to be recognized, and his speech or whatever he's claiming is being oppressed, and he wants to be so different so that he can seem different from others, when what he's doing is not different. It's not different and will never be different. That's the thing. And that is what it really is. It's a lot of insecurities that cause minorities to uphold white supremacy. It's insecurities and money. Especially for like black people. You feel insecure in your position, or you were born in a position that you either rose up from or you never left, you know? And so then you continue to push that cycle of white supremacy and just violence, basically. Like, not physical violence, but just like violence of words against other people. And you they don't realize until, I don't think a lot of people realize. And I guess the moral of this video, don't trust all black people. Like, like, obviously that's a joke, but it's kind of not, but it is. You can't trust people that haven't reflected, you know? Like, why? Like, how should I word this? To stop working within the framework of, like, white supremacy, you need to do a lot of self-reflection. And that comes from everything. You need to do self-reflection on colorism. You need to do self-reflection on wanting to have the same stereotypes as Asian and Jewish people. Like, both of those are on the same spectrum of things you're doing to fight for white supremacy. And without reflection, these people will never be able to fully realize who they are and, like, the individuals that they are. Because the whole purpose is to create, like, a monolith of people. So if you segregate yourself from other black people or other minorities or whatever, because you're different than them, because you have money, because you're a visionary, because you're an individual, because of all these egotistical things that you do, you are just moving yourself from one box to the other box. You became one of the good ones. So first you were one of the bad ones because you talked against white supremacy, right? Like Kanye West, he goes from being opposition to it, and then to being a pawn for it. And a lot of people are like this. I don't know much about, like, Candace Owens, but she's also a pawn. You know, she's one of the good ones. And that's the thing. Yeah, this is the end. Don't be one of the good ones. Don't do that. As soon as you're one of the good ones, you are a pawn to white supremacy. Instead of just living in it, you have become a worker for it. And self-reflect to stop becoming a worker. Bye. I feel like I literally have a script and I'm not getting out anything that I wrote here, which is, like, kind of funny but not funny because I wrote some good stuff. I feel like